This one's a little different. Lee has lived in the States, specifically California. Would he consider coming back, or is Australia too good to leave? I would like to visit Australia someday, and what's his opinion on both places? I think that would be interesting. And how do you get big arms?
Is that really on there?
Yeah.
Well, I said America was good in the beginning to get over there and stuff, to get your name out there and get known, but being there 18 years, the things I miss about America are my friends, the racing, and just where I lived. I used to love going to Universal Studios at least once a week or once every 2 weeks and stuff like that, the amusement parks and different things like that. And yeah, but I wouldn't mind going back and now and again to visit. I think going back to visit, I might appreciate it more. It's like anywhere you move somewhere, and when you first get there, you're like, everything's new and exciting. But then after a while, you're like, okay, this and that. Like I lived in Venice Beach area for 9 years, and I think I went to the beach a couple of times when I got there. But after a while, I don't think I went to the beach at all unless someone come to visit me. You want to go see Venice Beach? You go down there. It's like anywhere. When I was living in Newcastle near the beach, you go there all the time. Then after a while you stop going. As soon as you move away from the beach, you're like, fuck, I wish I could go to the beach. I think you just take things for granted when you're there all the time because it's there. So, yeah, but I'd like to go back. And yeah, they're pretty much, Australia could be a little bit behind America. The population isn't as big, which is a good thing, but as far as PC crap goes, we're pretty much right up there now with America. Whereas before, when I lived in America, everything got so PC. I used to think, I can't wait to get back to Australia. People are laid back. You can make a joke and no one gets offended. I moved back home and
you brought it with you.
Yeah, exactly. You can't make a joke or anything because people get offended. But no, they're pretty much on par. They're both nice. Probably Australia. Actually, you got like a lot of good places here because people always. I'm amazed that when I tell people it snows in Australia, they're like, you get snow, a little bit. I'm like, no, Australia's got some of the biggest snow, like ski fields outside of the Swiss Alps. Yeah. But yet people don't believe that. They think it's all hot and sunny and desert. But no, we've got some of the biggest ski fields in the world. But you don't think of Australia to go snow skiing and stuff. But yeah, so it's things like that. But yeah, it's like I said, there's still places in Australia I haven't seen. Like I'd love to go to Kakadu, Ayers Rock, or Uluru now. Yeah, got to be PC. Yeah, that big red thing in the middle of Australia. Places like that across the Nullarbor. There's so many things that I still haven't seen in Australia, but in America, when I lived there, I went to different places. I went to the Grand Canyon. I probably saw more of America than I have of Australia, which is sad because even Australians travel overseas to go on holidays, which, okay, in Australia it's a bit more expensive with airfares and accommodation here, but yet people will be going overseas. They're like, let's go to Hawaii, to the beaches, or Bali, the beaches, but yet Australia's got the best beaches in the world, but yet we travel everywhere else around and don't appreciate our own country, so it's weird. But I guess you get people overseas who want to come to Australia because it's something different for them. But I don't know, I think we just take for granted what we have and we should appreciate it more, love one another and sing Kumbaya.
And I was going to say, what was better, Venice Beach or the beaches at Newcastle?
Probably, as far as if you're going for beach purposes, the beach in Newcastle. If you're going for entertainment purposes, that's beach. You never know what you'd see. You'd see anything from street performers that are handicapped with no arms and no legs dancing to gang members on weekends, and then in the afternoons, I remember living there at Ed Connor's house. If the gang members got too many, you'd see like probably 30 police officers walking. Then you'd have maybe like 15 on horseback, and then another 4 patrol vehicles, 4-wheel drives, and in one big line. They'd go from the boardwalk across the sand to the water in one big line and just close the beach down.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And did it ever get out of hand?
Not really, because you see like a lot of gang members would come down on weekends and bring their pit bulls down, and a lot of deals going on down there and stuff. So if it got too sort of where it could get out of hand, they'd stop it before it got that far. So
yeah, as far as the beach was concerned, I was very underwhelmed with
the beach.
Yeah.
That's like I said, when people always say they love to go to Hawaii, a lot of the beaches in Hawaii were getting their sand from Australia.
Yeah.
So like a lot of some of the sand from Stockton Beach was being shipped over. So you can get your hotel, your airfare, and go to Hawaii. You go, baby, look at this beautiful beach. Come lay on the sand, and it's like an Australian beach you're laying on, but you're in Hawaii.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing. People ring up and go, "Oh, have you got Australian-made gym equipment?" And I go, "No, nothing gets made in Australia."
Sadly, yeah.
But you know, I don't go overseas for my holidays. I go up, up to Nelson Bay, and I think that's the
a
best
nice
way.
area.
Yeah, that's the best way to support Australian business because
okay, it might be cost a little bit more, but really, when you think about it, okay, you might get cheap airfares, but then when you go over there, the money you save on the airfare accommodation, you're going to waste shopping anyway.
Yeah.
So, and plus, I don't know, I just prefer to be in my own country where, especially this day and age, you go to some of these places like Bali and you never know what's going to happen and shit like that. Yeah. So you might buy the wrong pair of headphones or something. Or you might not even know. You might come home and you'll have all these headphones and go, they're not mine.
Yeah, I like it. It's 2 hours away from Sydney, and you don't really spend as much money because you're going to the beach. Or
exactly. I think you get more time there too because you haven't got, like, say, if you're going overseas, you've got a day or two of travelling and then you've got to recover. Whereas if it's just a 2 hour drive here or there, I said I love going down to the Blue Mountains, which is a 4 hour drive. But you go down to the caves there, sightseeing. They've got that nice big lodge you can stay in the mountains there and stuff. It's really good. So places like that, there's so many hidden places around Australia that people don't even think of. I saw one, can't remember what it's called though, but there's a resort, I think it's, I have to try to remember the name, but it's right on, the Today Show went there, and when you look out of the hotel thing, you're looking out over this huge gorge, like a huge gorge with water and stuff, and must be near Kakadu or somewhere out there, but it's just just beautiful. It's like I said, the resort's right on the edge of it almost, as if it was on the edge of the Grand Canyon. And they got like the infinity pool there. As you look into the distance, you got the ravine and the gorge. See, places like that I'd love to go to and stuff like that. And that's why I said I'd like to have a place eventually. I'd like to have a house out in the bush somewhere where you can wake up in the morning and have kangaroos in your front yard and just stuff like that.
Coloured brown snakes.
Yeah. Dingoes.